guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another foundation comparison review, and I know you guys love these types of videos. You give me great feedback on them and I'm happy to do them for you. And today we're going to talk about two NARS foundations. I love comparing foundations from the same brand, and I decided to focus on the new NARS Natural Radiant Longwear compared to their Sheer Glow. So if you enjoy these types of videos, please do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know every time I post a video. These types of videos are one of my favorites to do because I know you guys want to know what the differences are between different products. You may be considering purchasing one or the other, especially this one, because it is the newer one that came out not too long ago and the one that everyone's talking about. But is it the one for you over this one? We'll discuss all of those details in this video. First, let's get the aesthetic issue out of the way, especially for those of you who do not care about application method. As far as the pump situation goes, and I always have to talk about this because I know so many of you do value and appreciate a pump on a liquid foundation. Only one of these foundations has a pump, and that is the newer Natural Radiant Longwear. This does come with a pump, and the NARS Sheer Glow does not. However, you can purchase one from NARS's website, directly from their website. Amazon probably also will have one available. But of course, paying those extra few dollars will make the Sheer Glow foundation a more expensive one to this one. For the most part, they're pretty much the same price. I think they're $1 off of one another. But if you do decide to go for the pump for your Sheer Glow, that's gonna make this more expensive. Okay, now let's get into the real meat and potatoes of the differences between these two. So first and foremost, shades. Who cares how fantastic a foundation is if you can't find your shade? You're not gonna use that foundation, right? So NARS has always done such a great job as far as shade range goes. They haven't always had the greatest number of shades, but I've always respected them as a company that pays very close attention to undertones. They're one of the few companies out there that does olive undertones in their complexion products very well. They at least provide that option. I know so many of you olive-toned people out there have a real rough time trying to find great shade matches. So for the newer Radiant Longwear, there are now 33 shades in this range as opposed to Sheer Glow's 20. Sheer Glow, for as long as I have known, has only always had 20 shades. And with the launch of this newer foundation, NARS went to town and they bumped it all the way up to 33. And within that are pink undertones, yellow undertones, olive, brown, caramel, neutral. They have a very wide range of undertones. So if you are olive, if you're someone that's always struggled with trying to find the right undertone in your foundation, definitely give the newer Radiant Longwear a try. NARS does undertones very, very well, better than most. Next, let's talk about finish. You may assume by the name that the Natural Radiant Longwear would have a radiant finish. Personally, for me, when I was using it, I found it to be very natural, not matte and not really too radiant either. Not in any way, shape, or form dewy. Very natural. It does give a very natural type of a finish to the skin, whereas Sheer Glow does give off much more of a glow. But the name Sheer Glow really does refer to the glow, not necessarily the consistency of the foundation, because I know a lot of people over the years have said, I don't know why they call it Sheer Glow, because it's not really sheer and it doesn't have that much of a glow. but sheer glow really refers to the degree of glow. It does have a glow, but it's not a dewy glow. I would not call this a dewy finish foundation at all. It does have a very radiant satin type finish, whereas this one is definitely more natural. So if you're all about the glow, sheer glow is the one for you, because this one definitely leans more natural skin-like and a more subdued radiance. If you're wanting maximum radiance, you're going to get it. You're gonna have a better chance of getting it with sheer glow, especially if you mix in a facial oil. For all you drier skin people out there, for me, I'm combo oily, so I have always loved using this, especially in the cooler months. Definitely come summertime, it's not a foundation that I gravitate towards because I'm extra glowy enough, so I don't really need a glowy foundation. But I found using these two on and off, you're definitely gonna get more of a natural toned down glow to the skin with this one as opposed to sheer glow. As far as coverage goes, you're definitely going to get more coverage with the newer foundation. I definitely found that 2 pumps was good enough for me, and that gave me a nice medium coverage. This is a medium buildable coverage foundation. Sheer glow is definitely sheer buildable, sheer to medium. For the newer natural radiant Longwear, you have to be very careful to not use too much. I found 2 pumps was pretty much as far as I was willing to go, because as the day wore on, I did see a little bit of settling into fine lines, and I know that had I used more of the product, that would have been more prominent. So if you're a full coverage person, you're probably gonna use 3 or 4 pumps, but be careful that you may experience some cakiness because of the formulation of this foundation, and it doesn't have that much of a glow. It is definitely more natural. I would even go as far as to say a natural matte type of finish, because of course too, it is more of a Longwear, as the name suggests. It's a Longwear foundation as opposed to sheer glow. You're gonna get much more longevity throughout the day with this one, and you kind of have to sacrifice a little bit of glowiness, radiance to the skin. We all know, as far as Longwear foundations go, usually it's the matte ones that have that on lock. If you want Longwear, you don't want anything to move, you're gonna have to go to the matte end of the spectrum. But I think NARS did a really great job of giving you Longwear in a non-matte foundation, but it does have a little bit of that matte quality. It's matte-esque. It's a matte-esque type of coverage and look to the skin, so you definitely have to be careful not to use too much, just like with a MAC Studio Fix Fluid or an Estée Lauder Double Wear. The Longwear foundations, you always have to be careful about not using too much, because you will look like a hot, cakey mess. So which one is the right foundation for you? Well, if you're all about that full coverage life, you want your foundation to last all day, you don't want it to fade, you don't want it to sweat off, you want the color to stay true from morning till night, you definitely need to go with the Natural Radiant Longwear. It will last you all day long, and it will look beautiful on the skin all day, provided that you don't use too much of it. If you don't mind your foundation not lasting for 16 hours, as this one does claim to do, then sheer glow might be a better option for you if you want a little bit more of that radiance, if you want a little bit less coverage, because sheer glow does give you a little bit less coverage than the Natural Radiant, then definitely go with the Sheer Glow. If you can get past not having a pump, having to pour it out on the back of your hand or on a palette, Sheer Glow is a beautiful foundation that I personally really love, even though I'm combo oily. For me, my top pick of the two is Sheer Glow because it just gives such a beautiful finish to the skin. And my experience with this newer foundation is there is a little bit of a learning curve and a little bit of manipulation as far as prepping your skin very well, making sure you use the correct amount of foundation to get this to look as good as this. This to me is an effortless foundation. You can just slap this on and go and look fantastic. This, I would not say is a slap on and go foundation. You have to be very careful about how you prep your skin, how you set it, to make sure that you don't get any cakiness, any settling into fine lines, none of that. But it is a beautiful foundation, and I think it's a great addition to the whole NARS lineup because it is the first NARS foundation that does last up to 16 hours. So it's really great that NARS does have this in the range for all of us out there who do need our makeup to last all day long, don't want to do any touch-ups, and just have everything be intact hours later and look as good hours later as it did when you first put it on. So that's it, guys. I hope you learned a lot about both of these foundations and you're able to figure out which one is going to be best suited for you. If this video was helpful and you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.